Stefanik and freaking McKinnon need to see the field a lot more.
Oh, they got rid of Madden, and look where they're at now, huh? I guess that wasn't the problem.
The hitting instructors still have their job. That, to me, is the biggest question. Why do they still have their fucking job?
And all I want to say is,
it's the Todd Fox Post-Game Podcast with your host, Todd Fox.
Hey, welcome into another episode of the Todd Fox Post-Game Show on the Halos in the Infield Network as we get along with another win tonight. Another win maybe for some teams would be great because they're able to do that on a natural basis, on a consistent basis, but this team has won only a few games recently, and you know what? The Angels get a W tonight by the score of 1-0. So they score under what they've been averaging, which is 1.5 a game. They get you one big fat run, and lo and behold, Jose Suarez pitches his best game of his career and basically pitches 7 innings, shutout ball, 2-hit ball, 8 strikeouts, and the Angels get 1 run from Renifo, and that's all they needed. No Ohtani tonight, a bunch of losers in that lineup towards the back end of the lineup. And that's all they got on the board. They only scratched across 5 hits. They only left 5 guys on base. So this one was an ugly game, but the Angels won 1-0. They faced a team that is the only team in the American League that is now scored less runs than the Angels. Detroit has now jumped the Angels for third worst in all the American League, and I think the Angels are at 27th. If I'm not mistaken, or maybe 28th as far as scoring runs. And that went from, a point in time where the Angels were number 1 in the first couple months of the season. And this team is 23 and 53 in their last 55 games. So, in last 75 games, I'm sorry. So that just goes to show you where this team is at right now. We have now entered in to the dog days of summer, and we're going to be scratching, kicking, and clawing to talk about what's going to be on tap for the Angels, for if there's going to be any positivity, what's going to happen, because right now, as it looks, as the Angels get game 1 of this 3-game series with Oakland, and again, a win against Oakland is nothing to be throwing a parade about because of just the fact that Oakland's where Oakland's at. If you look at the schedule right now, the Angels moving forward from this series, they got 2 more starting again tomorrow at 6:40, and then a day game on Wednesday. Then you come home for the Minnesota Twinkies. Twinkies are here for 3 games till the 14th, and then you got Seattle coming to town for 3 more till the 17th in August, and then you have the Detroit Tigers in Detroit for 3. You go to Tampa Bay for 4, which Tampa kicked your ass last time. And then you go to Toronto for 3, which Toronto kicked your ass last time. They swept us here at the Big A. And then we could just finish up Toronto with coming home to playing the best team in all of baseball. Well, in all of American League anyway. That's the New York Yankees. And then we finish. That's to finish out the August schedule. And then we'll get into some easier games come September, which is mostly division games. But so what that spells out for your Angels is, I guess you could look at, with Moniak going down, people wanted to see what he could do down the stretch. There's certain players that are going to come from the Salt Lake Bees. The Trash Pandas are going to be playing a little bit more playoffs. We might pluck a player or 2 from them coming down the stretch from their run. And, it's just all about the youth movement, and it is what it is. Are we going to see more guys like Stefanik come in here and play a bigger role instead of get sent down? Because, come on. Think about it. What more do we need to see from Rojas? What more do we need to see from Gosselin? What more do we see from Captain Jack, who is eventually going to get a spot up here? What more do we need to see from Suzuki? Let him graze off into the sunset, play more, what's his name, Wallach, when he gets called up from the Salt Lake Bees. There's no reason to be playing a lot of these guys down the stretch that have been in the lineup. Like Velasquez should be just eating that pine with that woodchuck face of his. just eating the pine, not even getting off the bench. He does not need to be in a defensive replacement. He sucks ass. Guys like that just need to go away. And we need to turn the page because all these players won't be here next year, hopefully. If Perry does what he did this year, we're going to have a lot of retreads coming back next year. But this team gets a 1-0 win tonight. It's not something to, again, throw a parade about. We got freaking, the A's for 2 more games. They're a lousy baseball team. They have an excuse to be where they're at. They literally told you from last season, we're blowing this shit up. Don't expect to win. We're thinking about and probably most likely moving to freaking Vegas. We don't give a crap about our fans. We don't give a crap about the city. Like, they've already got one foot out the door. So at least they have their mindset. And you can look at that and say, that's a dysfunctional organization. That's an organization, at least you know what they're doing. At least you know the method behind their madness. You can't say that for the Angels. You can't sit here and say, well, I know what Artie Moreno's up to. I know what we're going to do. Half the fan base thinks we're signing back Ohtani. Half the fan base thinks we're still going to trade him. Half the fan base thinks we're going all in on restocking. Half the fan base thinks we're going on a rebuild. So we don't know what the fuck this team's going to do. We don't know what they're going to do in the offseason, whether or not they're going to push forward and get the property from the city of Anaheim, or did Artie fuck himself by doing those underhanded, shady things that he's in trouble now with the feds, allegedly. And then, are we going to get a team on the field that's going to represent this city of Anaheim, not Los Angeles? Is it gonna be good next year? Are they going to replenish the play? There's just so many questions going into next off season. Who gets hired? Who gets fired? Are the right people going to come into play to help these youngsters and to help these guys like Jared Walsh, who to me is looking like he's trying to play cricket. He's not out there trying to play baseball. He has a terrible, god-awful swing that, again, should have had him riding the pine by now, but magically he's still being thrown out there every freaking night, which is terrible. So we're going to see what happens in the offseason. It's going to be really, really interesting. There's going to be a lot to talk about and a lot to get into. So for tonight, it's not going to be that long of a show. We are going to get some Halo honks. If you guys honk your honk tonight, you will get the... And then we'll see what happens with other stuff, but we might take some phone calls later on as well. So the first comment that comes up right here is by Alex. Alex says, Stassi at DH is embarrassing. Again, if I wanted someone like Stassi at DH, I would have took a mannequin from all the Sears stores that have freaking gone by the wayside and gone out of business. I'd put one of those mannequins in the box, and it would do the same thing that Stassi would do. If a pitcher can't find the home plate, he's going to take a walk to first base. If not, he's going to take a called third strike right down the middle. Abraham says, can we just give some love to Suarez today? Yeah, 8 Ks tonight, a good start. It was really, really good. Oh, man, don't even get me started on this one. Oscar says, did you see the crowd? I thought I was watching a WNBA game for a second. And, to that take, Oscar, I love that, but there's still more fans at Oakland than there is at a WNBA game. Paid or not paid, there's still more fans at Oakland. There's flies and rats at some of these stadiums that are at a WNBA game. I mean, don't even get me started. I have so many special takes that wouldn't fly if I put it on here. Dan Rio says they won and only with one run. Renifo 1, Oakland nothing. Halo by the Bay says. Daniel Cabrero says a solo home run actually gave us a win. How many times have we been able to say that? This is the Han Solos of baseball. We hit so many solo home runs, and we actually got a W by one, which is crazy. Alex says Velasquez still sucks. I will agree with that anytime anybody says that. But a very sad day for our country, Dan Rio says. 1 point. What up, Todd? What's new? Exactly. The Han Solo wins us a game, but Renifo with a monster hit. Exactly. He came through tonight. Abraham says, and I tagged Renifo on my story, and he actually reviewed it. I was honored. There you go. I mean, that guy's a cool kid, man. I mean, he is what he is. Nick Tate says, was this a real win in real life? I don't know, man. I mean, it feels weird, but again, you're playing. You're looking at two teams. Obviously, one has more stars, one has more talent. but they're playing down to all their opponents. And then the other team is just shit, and they know they're shit. They're trying, and they still lose 1-0. They can't hit either. Walsh still sucks as per usual, Oscar says. Also, EQ, bunch of losers in line in this lineup besides Renifo and Fletcher. And again, Fletcher came through with 2 more hits today. His swing looks very, very good from a couple years ago. Not last year because he started out real sucky, got hot during the middle, and then fell back into bad ways. And this year, he's slapping at the ball, taking pitches. He looks really, really good out there. So far, so good. Shooting Record says, light that baby up. Hopefully tomorrow is another win for the Angels versus Oakland. Y'all notice Renifo and Fletcher go 2 for 3, 2 for 3 every time, or 2 for 4, 2 for 3 every time because they can hit. Shitty-ass lineup, but Renifo said, I hate nachos. Exactly, Daniel. The Nacho Night Award just goes to the bottom half of our order. We're going to get to 4 through 9 tonight because they just flat out sucked tonight. It was all about 1 through 3, and I'm going to throw Ward in there because he got a single too. And the Stamos, obviously, John Stamos Award goes to Suarez. Hell of a game pitch. I don't care who it is against. He pitched a really good game tonight. Keep Renifo and Fletcher and get rid of everyone else besides Ohtani, Trout, Rendon, and Stefanik up here. Nito needs to get up here right away. Mickey Mouse, get all the prospects up here and let them eat. Give them a chance is what EQ is saying. I'm going to the Twinkies and Angels Saturday for a friend's birthday. Enjoy yourself there. I would like to see a sweep of Oakland. I would like to see that too. James says exactly. Might have to bring the paper bags though to the game. Yes, do that and tag us, please. Fabio says, don't worry, Halo Brothers. We're making the playoffs. Ha! Oh, by the way, did you know we are third in the league in shutout wins with 13. You know what, Fabio? That right there is a stat I didn't know. And thank you for bringing that to my attention because then I'll further prove my point and a lot of you guys that have been bringing this up, that the pitching isn't the problem. How many times did we get a shutout last year or the year before? I think last year we only had 3 or 4 maybe, max, out of 162 games. So the fact that we have 13 already, the fact that we've also lost a bunch of 1-run games, 2-1 games, the pitching has not been the fucking problem. I will beat that into a dead horse or a WNBA player. It has not been the problem. It has just been this god awful hitting and the ways that we choose not to hit. We beat Tampa's ass last time, the no-hitter. Oh, that's right, the no-hitter. That's right. I'm forgetting about that Halo by the Bay. I was remembering last year when Tampa Bay just abused us like a dirty whore. James says Angels took 3 of 4 against Tampa at the Big A long time ago. Yeah, my bad. I totally blew that one. It's Toronto that really kicked our ass in this series here. Leaf says Jose Suarez has been really good in the last 3 starts. Just 1 unearned run allowed over 17 1/3. He has been a lot more dominant, so that's been pretty good to see. Grillmaster says, duh, Angels win. Angels need to call up Orlando Palmeiro, so Preston Palmeiro soon. And Preston Palmeiro, Chewing Records. That's a throwback. Angels are sandbagging for sure. Get Bauer up here and screw it. What else can go wrong? Give it a shot. Again, for the first time ever, I'm going to say, can he hit? We need hitters for real. But Ant is right there with you. He says, for real, sign Bauer. Why not? Although we really need hitting, out of starters have been good. They sure have. At EK, 1 year, couple million, and experiment signing to see what happens with what's the worst that can happen right there. He could ruin the locker room, but then again, the locker room's been ruined for the last few years. So good point. I do like, if Bauer, I don't know how his contract went down. I know he opted in to the Dodgers. They'd have to cut him and eat a lot of that contract. So he was going to be making, I think, short of $30 million with the Dodgers, or right at $30 million. So if, and that's a big if, they cut him, maybe he does take the league minimum or a couple million, and maybe he can come on. We'll have to see. Sometimes all you need is 1 run, Grillmaster says. Give Squid the max. What would we do without him besides still win tonight, Rob says. Well, the fact is that we actually won tonight, meaning he actually didn't do anything to screw things up. The difference is that we would get more hits, somehow then Stassi. Exactly. Squid says, or Josh says, Squid is going to be a 300-plus hitter, and Stassi is going to defend the dugout next year. Wow, that is a huge... That is not going to happen at all. We should go back to being called the California Angels. I agree. A lot of people don't like that, but I do like the big California logo on the side of the jersey. Josh, that is the honkest shit I've heard in a long time, by the way. So that's why you get extra honks. And then I should throw you one of these too. Hold on, if I could find it real quick. Let's see. Hold on. I bet you I don't have it ready either, because that's how I roll on this production right here, and I don't think I have it ready. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I was going to tell you when you said that.
Bullshit. Come on, don't bullshit me.
Because that's what I think about it. It's all bullshit. If you're saying that dude's going to be that good anytime soon, or those guys are going to do what you said they're going to do, which is not going to happen. Not going to happen. Okay, so let me get to some more of these comments here. And by the way, again, this team moving forward is going to just be you're going to be playing for positions. You're going to be playing to try to win playing time and to win a job next year. Let's see. Yeah, even Leaf called it. James says, prepping for the pregame, I was shocked to see Stassi as DH in the lineup tonight. That was pretty pathetic. Grillmaster says, maybe the Long Beach Angels or the West Coast Angels, California of Earth. Mateo says, even though we won 1-0, we still got the W. And it would be great. It would be really great if this team played much, much better down the stretch and scored some runs, but I don't see it happening. James says, you got a penny or a shack on, Todd? I got a penny. I love Penny Hardaway. Just was injured too much, along with was it Grant Hill back in the day. By the way, the Pistons are bringing back those Grant Hill jerseys, those teal jerseys, so that's gonna be a good look for them at least. Mateo says, is there still time to turn this around, or are we done? Well, we've been done, Mateo. We've been done since that 14-game losing streak. Renifo has been eating Mr. T cereal with all these hits. He looks like Mr. T. He just needs a machine gun, and he needs to miss everything that he shoots at like they did on A-Team. Todd Fox, when do you think the Angels will call up Zach Neto? Chewing records, he's got some good time here that he's got to put down in the minors. He's not a Jeremiah Jackson by all means. I think Jeremiah Jackson I'd love to see up here in September, but I think Neto would be, if he hits all his freaking accomplishments, all his goals, I wouldn't count on him being up until maybe 2024, maybe. I mean, unless he blazed through the minors in 2023, I don't see him up till 2024. Jonah Bride needs to find a groom to fix his hitting. I wrote that twice in case you didn't read it. Okay, Grillmaster. Let's see how it doesn't make the trip to Communist Canada. Or let's see how many Angels don't make it to the Communist Canada up there. Yeah, it's true. Because, again, what Dan is talking about is you have to be vaccinated in order to play in Toronto. They are really super strict over a goddamn flu, even though nobody's dying anymore. They're still acting like the very first days of the stupid pandemic. Shout out to Suarez. James says, Yvette says, I've been saying pitching is not the problem. Stupid offense can't do shit, and it's been a broken record, Yvette. You've been saying it since day one. Abraham says, maybe Bauer tells the truth this team needs to hear. If they don't like it, then that's the Angels' fault because they need someone to open their damn eyes. And I wouldn't mind if he's not as cocky and he sits back there and puts the team first and maybe bitches at all the players to be better and to become better, to work harder, to put in the work to get the results. If he's that type of player, that's the type of player and the type of leader that this franchise has missed for the last, decade. Oh, yo, I'm mad. I'm missing a party tomorrow and night. And yeah, Renifo 1, A's nothing. So mad I'm leaving tomorrow night. And yeah. Leaf says, if Squid's on another team, then I could maybe see the argument for a 300 average. But on the Angels, absolutely not. Exactly. He's lucky to hit over 100. Let's see. But the bad news is I'm missing the party tomorrow. Let's see. I already said that. Can't meet new girls. Renifo is probably ignoring Paul Sereno. And, that's probably right, Mateo. That is probably right. You probably hit the nail on the head. That Renifo's like, hey, you know what, man? To hell with you guys. I see what you're doing to the other players. I'm going to do my own thing. Halo Joe says, we've gone to the playoffs 10 times in our 61 years of existence. Yes, I'm already counting this year. It's okay, Halo Joe, because what is telling you not to count this year? When do we expect to see Logan O'Hoppe in the majors? Well, that's O'Hoppe. The thing is, with his numbers, if you've seen his minor league career, I would be shocked if he's called up this September. But I almost guarantee it that in spring training of next year, if you make it out to the Tempe Stadium, Diablo Stadium, and watch some Arizona baseball, some fall league spring training, I guarantee you he'll get a shot up there with the Angels. He'll be in spring training unless he balls out completely. He will start in Salt Lake next year. And then you will see an opportunity for him if the Angels go down with an injury or they need backup catcher spot. You'll see him jump in and make his Angels debut some point next year, whether it's in the regular season or in September of next year. But I don't see it this year. I think spring training next year, you'll see Mr. O'Hoppe in some Angels red. Todd Fox, what Angels prospects do you think will make their major league debut? Jeremiah Jackson, I think, is one. I think he's going to make a debut here. Sam Bachman's another. Kai Bush, he's pushing hard, but he's in the postseason right now with the Trash Pandas. I don't know if you want to rush him up because there's really not a need with getting Davidson and having a few of these other young starters that they could bring up again like Silseth. So I don't see a need to push him, but I do see a need to push Bachman. I think you kind of got to see what you get with Bachman. And I heard that Nevin wants to actually start Mike Myers. As crazy as that sounds, Mike Myers has been getting stretched out because he pitched, I think, 3 or 4 innings the other day. They're going to want to get him to pitch about 5 innings. Same thing with Davidson. They're going to give these guys down the stretch like Jaime. That's why I don't think too many starters are going to get pulled up. But I do think Jeremiah Jackson is for sure going to get called up here in September. Fuck it, save money and get rid of everyone except Trout, Ohtani, and Yordi. And let's get a 3-man lineup for the batting and have McClanahan, Nestor Cortez, Scherzer, DeGrom, and Thor. He can hit. Those pitchers could hit better than what we got right now. EQ says that's the Artie way. Jared Weaver was a guy who could kick anyone's ass. Absolutely. And people were scared of him. Yvette says maybe he should pass the magic stick around. Exactly. I think the Angels should trade Squid for an actual squid. Yeah, some calamari. Renifo is like the Soriano and Reed of the baseball. He sure is. It's sad that Marsh went begging to the Phillies hitting coaches to fix his swing. I don't think he begged. I just think it was one of those, hey, man, can you help me out? And it was blown out by the media, but I do think that happened. EQ says, let's break Stassi and Suzuki's legs and bring O'Hoppe and Wallach up here. It wouldn't be that bad if he brought him up. I mean, what's worse that's going to happen other than you kill his confidence? At least you know now he's weak in the head like Adele. Give him a shot, but I just don't see him doing it right now. How many innings is Ohtani pitching tomorrow, Mateo says. I think he's going to give us a good 6-7 innings. And just if Oakland comes with the approach they came with tonight, he might have a complete game shutout tomorrow. So I say, Mateo, no less than 7 innings tomorrow. Would be a shame if Suzuki and Stassi got locked out of the stadium and O'Hoppe and Wallach were in the stadium. That would make a lot of sense and make me feel a lot better. O'Hoppe and Wallach called up wouldn't hurt. You think the guy throws 105 miles per hour will make his debut this year? Jaime, I think they're going to take him with kid gloves. I don't think he's going to get his opportunity just yet. But then again, I've been wrong on some of these things before when it seems like logical, like not to hurt the guy, not to throw him. Because a guy throwing 105 miles per hour is definitely not a dude you want to pitch every other game or every night. You kind of want to do what they were doing with Iglesias, but it didn't work with Iglesias. They screwed him up. He should be pitching every other night. But a guy like this kid, 105 right away, you don't want to blow his arm out. We already have Chris Rodriguez, who had arm trouble and other troubles. He's going to miss another entire season. Hopefully he's back for next year. And then you got Canning back for next year. And I'll just put my inner honk on real quick and be like, oh, boy, it's going to be like picking up 2 free agents next year because we're going to have Griffin Canning, who didn't pitch for us at all last year, even though he's part of the organization and we didn't spend any extra to get him back. And he actually took money from the team by being injured, and so did Rodriguez. But the moment they come back, they're free agents to the Angels, and you must feel positive because they're coming back not hurt, and they're coming back healthy. So technically, they're a free agent. No, shut the fuck up. Renifo's a new Eric Ibar. Ooh, I wouldn't say that, Daniel. I loved Ibar, and you got to put in some time to get as good as Ibar did. I miss Ibar. Ben Joyce will not be up this year. I agree with you, Grillmaster. Ben will enjoy his time in the minors. I see what you did there. Remember when Wallach went for 3 games with the Angels and hit a home run? Stassi can never do that, EQ says. Yeah, and he was actually also calling really good games. That is, people look at what Wallach can bring to the plate hitting-wise. I think his catching is really, really good. I think he threw out a couple runners. He was calling good games. They had the no-hitter and the shutout with him behind the plate. So, why not? We all have been wanting or waiting for Renifo to start hitting, and now he's coming through in the clutch. He is looking a lot better, Mateo, absolutely. Anyone surprised Renifo hit a home run tonight? He isn't that big of a power guy, but he can get into one. That's the thing, because you know why? He puts the barrel on the bat, and good things happen. None of these other guys on this team do. Just look at Walsh. He swings over everything. So if he does make contact, weak ground ball to shift. It's rare when he's able to jump on one. Time to say my favorite line. 714 tickets, 714 tickets, 714 tickets. Call today, go tonight to Angel Stadium and sit in your 600-seat level at the blind date section of your favorite stadium that the Cowboy built that Artie Moreno made so much better, a.k.a. the Big A, in Anaheim, where I ride my bike down Catella with John Stamos' wild black hair and his suave shampoo scent blowing into my nostrils as I get a raging erection as I approach the Anaheim Stadium to drop Stamos off in my bed. In his seat at the stadium. EQ says we never lost a game with Wallach. I think we did, but He did call a really good game. Halo by the Bay says Wallach called the no-hitter. He sure did. And he actually sees film, and that's probably a good point, EQ. He does his homework. Let's see. Again, let's bring Morales. Again, let's bring Morales throw the first pitch, then run the bases and break his leg to reverse the curse. That's sad. I still remember that, dude. Talk about Yvette. When he hit that grand slam, first off, you walked off a game with a grand slam, and that's like one of the most exciting things ever. And I just remember everybody they didn't go away from commercial. Everyone was standing up because it was euphoric to when he jumped on that base and he went down. I thought he just tripped and the players were going to pick him up. And then you saw the players' faces, and man, oh man, was it like it changed. And then it was like 15 minutes till they got him in that air cast, and they took him out of there by cart. And I'll never forget that. And the Angels haven't worn those cutoff sleeves since. They considered those jerseys bad juju. Let's see. Also, Renifo probably hit his Little League coach for advice and gave him better advice than Reed and Sereno. Yvette agrees with you. Todd, who do you trust more next year, Renifo at starting shortstop or Walsh at first base? Jaime, right now, with the body of work that Walsh has put in, all the way Renifo. I think Renifo's finally found it, especially if he finishes this year as hot as he's been since he's been called up. I think Walsh has lost it and Renifo has gotten it. And now the big question is, can Renifo carry it into next year? And can Walsh actually fix his swing with some new coaches next year? Those will be the two questions. We have Stassi for 2 more years. Whee! All right. Do we have Wallach as a starting catcher and have Stassi as our backup? Here's the problem, Mateo. Here's the problem. Wallach is only signed through this year. So he definitely has no options left besides – well, I think he has an option left this season, but that's it. I think his contract is up. So we may or may not have him next year. And it's more like looking – unless they stack the organization with some more catchers, we're not going to have him. Abraham's reminding me of something I want to forget, Geno Smith being my number 1. Jaime says Walsh might be better next year without this shift. I agree, and with some real competent coaches. Mateo says Renifo probably watched film on how he could fix his swing because he didn't get no help from our Nacho guys. Otani probably hits up his Japanese coach from Japan to give him some advice for his hitting or for his Otani for his pitching, or his dad gives him advice. I miss those vest unis. Got one earlier this season. They aren't a good look, actually. How many games will Rendon play next year? Boy, the over-under on that. I would have to say coming off 3 injury-plagued seasons, I would set the over on 100. Can our boy, Mr. Goatee, Rendon, play more than 100 games? What do you guys think? Put it in the comments whether you think it's over 100 or under 100. That's a good question, Mateo. Abraham says maybe 20. Daniel says if Statue Stassi is with us for 2 more years, I think Chad deserves to be at least the backup catcher replacing Suzuki. We got to sign him first. We got to put a petition out there to get him signed. Let's hope Rendon and Trout can stay healthy for next season. Absolutely. Can we send down Walsh and Ward and see what comes up from Salt Lake? I wouldn't. Why not? I wouldn't. I would say give him a shot. Todd, is that a Magic Shack jersey? I used to have one. Jaime, this is a Penny Hardaway. I love Penny Hardaway. Mountain Dew King says, dude, I got bad news. Uh-oh, let's hear it. Andrew says, light that baby up. This rotation has looked good all year. It feels like we're really just one ace away from a legit staff. Imagine if this team got Scherzer. We'd be winning a lot more 1-0 games. Rendon plays 76. I bet you a hat. Or 140. So which is it? Is it 76 games or 140? Taking the under, way under, Lee says. If you were Renifo, would you let Soriano or Reed coach you on the hitting side? Hell no. Anything they do, anything they suggest, I'm doing the opposite. Wayne says, how about the amount of games old man Trout can play? He's not much better than Rendon. Wayne says, well, I'll say this too. Over under 120 games for Trout. I'm going to be a Halo, and I'm going to say he goes over that next year. I can't see him being injured again next year. But then again, he's been proving me wrong the last 3 years. I say Rendon plays 135. Damn, Mateo, that's a lot. Chewing Record says under. Jaime says the Penny Hardaway shoes are coming out again. They're stupidly priced. Again, pretty much you're paying for the same shoe like you did the Jordans, and you're just paying more and more and more and more. Just keep your shoes as nice as clean, and you're not playing basketball with them. They're going to stay good. Unless you're going to use them as collector items, I wouldn't even bother buying them. There's really, Nike is just raping everybody's wallets. Trust me. Let's see. It's either 76 or 140. So you got to pick one in the middle, EQ. Andrew Rivas says Rendon will play over 100 games next year. Okay. I think Rendon plays 3 and then he tears his mangina. EQ says Trout is getting to pool hole stage. Fletchfax checks in with David Fletcher. Boy, has he been hot. Fletcher with 2 more hits tonight. That sounds about right for Trout, around 120 to 130 games, which is going to be troubling for us because then we're going to have to come up with a lot of wins without his at-bat like we did up there in Seattle, which was tough to do. We got a couple wins there, but still, you want to have your best bat out there. And usually when he's on, not striking out, he's one of the legit hitters in the league, obviously. It's just we haven't seen the best of Trout anytime soon because he's been striking out and then hurt. The number to call in real quick is 714-598-3221. If Trout and Rendon can stay healthy for a whole season, how many home runs would the two combine for? If Trout does it, I'd say he would hit about 46 home runs next year, and then you would look at Rendon at about 25, maybe 22, 23, around there. I don't think Trout has ever played 120 games. Maybe wrong. Yeah, he has, Andrew. He's played an entire 162. Todd, I know you're – hold up. It's the Halo Honk line.
Hey, Todd.
What is up?
Let me just start off the calls with a very good take. You know, we're going to get Squid, best shortstop ever. He's going to hit for over 400 next year. You know, Chop's going to get DFA'd. I'm calling it right here.
That's 4 honks.
No, but seriously, that guy needs to go. Like yesterday, like not tomorrow, but like yesterday. Like that guy is horrendous.
He should be in the 99-cent store for baseball players. You know what I mean? Like he's.
I think we were better off with the real squid than the actual squid. You know, he has 8 tentacles. You know, could probably cover more of the base. You know, hell, the squid could probably actually get a bunt down.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I really just am amazed how this guy can't do the fundamental things. But defensively, he's like the Air Jordan of baseball. Like I get it, he's good, whatever in the infield, but I still don't put that over getting hits and home runs, because in the end we've lost a lot of one-run games with him doing absolutely dog shit.
Yeah, and it's like we need a shortstop, like besides, like, I mean, of course we have Rengifo, but like we need another guy at shortstop, like who can come up at late innings when we see his name, like, oh, all right, bet, like we'll take it. Like, you know, he's a good hitter, he can lay down a bunt, we got a runner on second, you know, no outs, he can get the bunt down. Like instead, it's like, oh, well, the last is up. Well, yeah, I guess we can turn off the game now. You know, this game's over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of there's just a lot of easy outs in this lineup, dude. So it's not like you look at him and you're like, okay, you know, he's gonna struggle. He's worse than a pitcher. But then, you know, Stassi's not helping out. Marsh, when he was here, wasn't helping out. You know, Walsh isn't helping out now. I mean, and Suzuki when he's in there. I mean, just you can go up and down the lineup. You can go on the bench, and there's just nothing there, dude. And it's hard to get psyched. It's hard to think that, okay, you know, once they go through the first 4 hitters, that the bottom 5 are going to do something. It's like, oh, God, we got to wait for Ward to come up again or Fletcher to come up again because we got nothing else in the fucking lineup.
Yeah, we don't. And, like, earlier this season, I called it. I was like, you know, the pitching has been really solid. Yeah, we lose. Maybe we've maybe lost like 1 or twice, you know, like we struggled, but like with like 2-run losses or anything. But it's like now it's just pitching's held up so good. There's a stat that said that the Angels have the best combined ERA as a team since July 21st. And we have the worst hitting. And like that goes to show how horrible this team is on hitting, because our team has combined for the best ERA probably in the American League right now, and you guys can't help your pitchers. Like, that's literally pathetic.
This reminds me, and I know for some of you football fans, I don't know if you'll remember this, but I believe it was my 92 Seahawks. And we had Mark McGuire's brother as a quarterback, Kelly Stoffer and Stan Gelball, all like both like arena football or World Football League quarterbacks. The point of me bringing that up is that team had the worst offense of all time in the NFL. You could look it up. They scored the fewest amount of offensive touchdowns of any football team ever. But their defense was number 1 ranked. You had Cortez Kennedy, a Hall of Famer on that team. A lot of good players on that team. I mean, they would shut teams down to like 17 points a game or less, and they would be punting like like double-digit times, like us striking out double digits. They were punting like 13, 14 times a game. They were the most pathetic team to watch. But like defensively, they had like a Tampa Bay or a Baltimore Ravens type defense, and I think that's what the Angels remind me of. Like their pitching can shut you down. You know, they'll have their hiccups. Yeah, they'll have their hiccups every now and then. But their pitching really can get the job done. But the offense looks like the Seahawks. They look terrible.
Yeah, and it's just like it's come to that point where like I feel like the Angels fans go to like me myself, a very diehard Angels fan. You know, I go, I yell, I support them, but like I feel like I'm going more now just to see the pitching. Like before, like I go, oh my God, we're gonna see like 5, 6 like scores, home runs. Now it's just like, dude, I'm excited to see like this pitcher come up today, probably strike out 10, 12 guys, and it's like, what more can we ask? Like we're just gonna go and see a bunch of strikeouts from our team. And all we ask is for this team to get hits, to support this team. And it's like we're down by 1 or 2 maybe. It's like, is it really that hard to probably get, you know, not what Patrick O'Neill says, a bloop and a blast, but what Gooby thinks, like, you know, we need guys on, we need smart playing, small ball.
Yeah, he's been preaching that all season. He's been preaching the whole, hey, you got to get guys on base, create traffic, create problems, get the pitchers thinking, get the catchers thinking, someone can make an error. Because there's always that chance when you have runners on that someone's going to throw the ball into the outfield, that they're going to misstep, not touch the bag. There's all kinds of things that can happen. You could do a hit and run, and all of a sudden the guy's out of place where a ball was going to be hit right to him. Instead, it squeezes right into the outfield. Stuff like that can only happen if you get guys on base, and this team doesn't get that.
Yeah, and it's more with people think that hitting home runs is more like, oh, the chicks love the long ball. But the majority of home runs that happen are off of mistake pitches, off of simple pitches that pitchers threw like, oh, shit, like this one's going to be bad, you know? And it's just like what this team needs is to realize these pitchers are going to realize that we can't hit home runs or we can't even get simple hits anymore, that they're going to start throwing a lot of pitches that could be hit by, I bet you, even the lowest average like little leaguer at this point, and this team makes it look so hard to hit a baseball.
And right now, I'll tell you right now, with that being said, there's only 2 things to look for the rest of Angels fans for the rest of the season. Number 1, what the young guys look like, both pitching and hitting down the stretch. Give those guys a chance. And number 2, we got to play spoiler. That's all we can do when we face these teams that are headed to the playoffs or have aspirations to be in the playoffs like the Mariners. Beat them. Make that your goal, you know, because you got nothing left to play for.
You don't have a goal like, oh, we still have a chance at the World Series or a playoff spot. It's like, no, at this point, like what we did last year, we had that goal. Like, you know, we have division rivals playing for division wild card spot like the Mariners. And what did we do? We went out, played baseball, small ball, and we eliminated them. Yep. At that point, that's all we need. We need to just go out there, have the mentality, all right, these guys are contenders. You know, a couple losses will hurt them. That's what we need. Hurt them and make sure that they don't make the playoffs.
Exactly. That's all we got left, man. But good call as always, brother.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Have a good night.
You too.
All right. There's an open line right there. Wayne says, Todd, were you excited about Stefanik? I know you're excited by Stefanik, but down on Renifo, but the fact that they are the same age. Yeah, you know what? It's just that Renifo's had more opportunities than Stefanik. I get what you're saying. I get that it's taken a little longer for Stefanik to get up to the minor leagues, but Renifo can be that guy, but now he's finally dialed in. You know, I want Stefanik to get to that opportunity too. It's just, will he get that moving forward? So I get what you're saying right there. Ohtani will get MVP year if we get a new contract or new coaches, EQ says. Bro, I have bad news about tomorrow night. I will tell you, okay? Let's see, where's Fast Times? I think he's asleep because he does work overnights. If you are the Angels, do you shut Trout down for the rest of the season? I say why not if you have an outfielder to play. If he's chasing stats and he wants to build on his Hall of Fame career, let him play. If he's okay to sit down and work on his back, let him sit. EQ's calling for NATO right now. Do we cut Squid after this year? Yeah, well, I think he's only on that 1-year deal, so I think we just let him walk. Andrew says, oh, yeah, just checked. Most games played in his season was 159. Send Squid back to New York Yankees. Let's see, but I'm excited for the high school football season to start next week because I go back on the 16th and first game is on the 19th. They went undefeated last year, Mountain Dew Kings team. Every inning is like 2 innings. Has everyone noticed? Exactly. It goes by so goddamn quick because there's no patience at the plate. DFA Squid, call up Zach Neto and Jeremiah Jackson. I really want to see Jeremiah Jackson get a crack here. Daniel says Squid and Walsh can sleep together, and Stassi can be the stuffed animal. EQ says Squid and Walsh can be the two dads, and Stassi can be the kid stuck with the two dads. Grillmaster says go Eagles and Wanker. Todd Fox, what other players do you think will be playing in the World Baseball Classic next season? I heard that they're trying to get Scherzer to play. There's a few other players. Even Syndergaard was approached about it. They're going to ask all the top guys, but it depends on how their playoff run goes for a lot of these dudes. I would love to see Walker Buehler for the Dodgers in there, but I think, again, a lot's going to happen with how many pitches he throws in the postseason, how far the Dodgers go. You might see Musgrove in there. There's going to be some fun players that are going to participate. I don't know too many of the hitters, but I do know a lot of the pitchers that have been asked already, and it should be fun. Fulmer, that was just traded from Detroit. I forget what team he went to. He's another guy that's been asked to participate. Either way, the United States is going to have a really nice pitching staff. Now, whether they can hit, that's the other thing, because, again, the Dominican team and the Puerto Rican team can really hit. They're fun teams to watch. Even Venezuela's not bad either. And then the team that I think the Angels should aspire to be, you watch when Japan and Korea play, how they just slap at the balls. They're more Ichiro type hitters, and they're fun to watch. I'm very excited about the World Baseball Classic. In fact, when this spring training, I'm going to go out there, catch a couple Angel games. I'm also going to catch a couple World Baseball Classic games. It's a must. If you haven't been to one, I really suggest you go to one. They're just fun. They're a different atmosphere. You will not find a Major League Baseball game like that because of the pride of the country. When the Koreans play, they bring those little noisemakers. Japan has their version of noisemakers. Venezuelan, there's chants. The Dominican, they sing. Puerto Ricans, the same thing. They chant and sing. It's just fun, and the Mexican team is really excited too. They're up there. They have the horns and the soccer horns. It's fun, dude. It is really, really fun, and I think it's a good thing for baseball, and it is not played enough. I really think they should play it every season. It brings a national pride to the game, and there's nothing wrong with that. The players, before they had this thing in Major League Baseball about, let the kids play. In World Baseball Classic, they were actually letting the kids play, and it was really fun to see. They're out there with the Venezuelan flags and wrapping around the players when they hit home runs. That's cool. That is really cool, and I think that's brought in some of the not the Angels. It's brought in some of the fun stuff like you see now with the jackets for Toronto, the shopping carts, the gold, the chains, stuff like that. I think that started from the World Baseball Classic a few years ago, and I think it's carried over. It's really fun to see. So I'm really pumped up for it. COVID fucked it up, but I think this year coming back, it's going to be really fun. So I can't wait to see that. Let's see. Grillmaster says, Todd, do you still call Cleveland's football team Ohio? Do you like what they did with baseball? No, I don't like what they did with baseball. They're Ohio right now. I'll call Cincinnati, the Reds. But as far as Ohio, I don't give the former Indians any respect. That organization can suck it. But the Browns are the Browns. They're fucking themselves over, not the it's nothing to do with their actual logo or whatever they stand for. They're just, the Watson thing was a dumb deal, in my opinion. You can do a whole show just on that one. Let's get Todd to pinch it, hint screw it. Hey, I could probably still hit. Todd will get a fly ball and advance Renifo to second. I could get a bunt down for damn sure. Maybe I could hit a fly ball. I did play good in the softball tournament, so I will say that. And I used to play. Not a lot of you guys know this, but out of high school, I actually went and I signed on with the Pittsburgh Pirates in rookie ball. I wasn't drafted, but I did a what's it called? I did a walk on, like a tryout. I went to their camp, and I got through 3 stages of their camp, and then I got a rookie ball invite and a contract in quotes, because I never got to sign it, because once I got to Pittsburgh's rookie ball orientation, I found out that my girl at the time was pregnant with my first daughter, and that pretty much killed my dreams right there. I mean, there was no way I could afford and leave her in a situation to raise a child on the other side of the United States when I'm over here in New York trying to do some rookie ball and try to advance myself. So note to self, if you're that age and you got aspirations, do those first. Kids will always be there. I'm not going to regret what happened to me because I love my daughter and everything else like that. But, that's what I had an opportunity, man. I mean, I don't think I was the greatest player. I don't think I would have made the majors, but I think I would have had some really good memories. I would have at least gotten I think my honkish thoughts for myself was a double-A hitter. I think I could have gotten to double-A because when I was out there training for the Pirates and in their tryouts, it was fly ball after fly ball after fly ball. They would be hitting them. They'd be shooting them out of the machine, and I was running them down. I mean, back then I was super fast, and because I was like 6'3", and I was 184 or 183, and I had really good jump. I had a really good 40 time, and I was catching everything. I think I only dropped one ball, and that's because I tried to dive at it at a bad angle. Other than that, the coaches were like, "Hey, you're doing pretty good out here," blah 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 blah. And I was like, they're like, for a walk-on, you got all these JUCO players out here and all these players that are supposed to be better than you. He goes, "You're outshining them." I was feeling real cocky about myself, and but I'd never made it. So that was a quick story there. Let's see. So tomorrow I can't go to a Sweet 16. He was looking to meet girls. Todd Fox lays a bunt down. Renifo comes in and scores. The Angels win the World Series. Todd Fox wins a game for the Halos. Yeah, I could probably do something out of what is it? In my playing days, I could do something from Benny from Sandlot, maybe just a pinch runner or something like that. Former went to the Twins. Thanks, Grill Master. So hopefully, Mountain Dew King says, so hopefully this doesn't happen, and I can just see and hear the girls are still available when I get back because he wants to party from Wyoming. They should have another Shohei participate for team in Japan. Cody says, I went to the first World Baseball Classic. It was really cool. Yeah, it was cool, man. You had a lot of good players out there at that time as well. Wyoming and I are just trying to get a party going on Instagram Live to get it tomorrow night. Yeah, so I don't think about the party that I won't be able to. Oh, party from Wyoming. Abraham says, don't forget the golden sombrero. The Mountain Dew King says, and meet new girls. And yeah, it sucks. The sombrero should just stick around on the Angels. I don't want that. I don't want that one at all. 6'3", is skinny. I was skinny, man, but so was Barry Bonds at one time. Let's see. Also, EQ says, good for you, Todd. Thank you, sir. You should have took the opportunity, and maybe you could have made the majors, and you could have went to spring training. And yeah, that would have been cool to go. True says Todd Fox equals Velasquez. I'm telling you, if someone would have given me a chance to go in the majors, I probably would have wound up like Velasquez. I'd have been batting like 194 or something or less. But I mean, no, it's really crazy though when you see some of those guys. Because I didn't go to college, I just came straight out of high school. To see those pitches bend, curve, and move so fast, man. You literally have to guess up there. I mean, you literally have to understand. Like, that made me appreciate things and then understand how much I could criticize a ball player and then how much I can't criticize a ball player. Because there's times where I'm like, well, he had no chance up there. And then there's times where I'm like, no, he fucking should have hit that. And because there's certain pitchers where you're literally up there guessing. Like, you literally have to look at the scouting reports and be like, you know what? You have to go on his tendencies. Like, every fourth pitch is a breaking pitch. Every third pitch is a fastball. You have to know these things, or you have to break down and study film on the pitcher and try to look for an advantage on, is he doing something different when he throws an off-speed pitch? Is he raising his leg all the way up when he does a fastball? Is he quicker to the plate with runners on, or is he slower to the plate? Is that going to help you when you're in the box? Is it going to help the base runner? Do you have to swing the other way? All these things race through your mind prior to that, unless you've written it down. And I would carry around a little notebook because I actually got a notebook, the idea from Carlos Delgado back in the day. And he would write down just before all these things was on the internet, every tendency of every pitcher he's ever faced. And I thought that was brilliant for him. And I thought, man, I could use that for myself. And I did. And it kind of helped out. I had a little notebook and I was kind of writing shit down. And it was, I didn't see too many pitchers, but I saw enough to understand the game at that time. Let's see what happened to my system. Did it just crash right here? Because I'm not seeing a damn thing. Let's see. It's not responding right here. This is interesting. This is totally interesting. And this is happening live. This is great. I'm telling you, if it's not one thing, it's another. Someday I will have a system to where I don't have to worry about shit. And it'll just work on its own, or I'll have a producer. Because right now I think I'm off. And it is, or let's see, totally interesting. Well, maybe you guys are, now it's saying it is working, but the cam is not working. So I might have to refresh this here in a second. If you're not seeing me, I'm still talking. Maybe I'll either dip or we'll see if we can get this. Oh, here's a phone call right here. It's the Halo Honk line.
Hey, Todd. I'm in Wyoming. I'm about to sleep with like 3 girls right now. I got my vape pen I got from my mom. I think I'm high. Can you help me, please? I really need help. Can you call 911?
I think.
Here's Valley Chris. Hey guys. I think tomorrow we're gonna win like 20 and 1.
21.
But I'm also in the room with a Grillmaster. Grillmaster. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm not watching baseball no more. Bye. What's up, big dog? How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you doing, man?
It's EQ, bro. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good tonight. We won 1-0. So.
Really? Is that so surprising? You just win 1-0 and that's it?
I mean, that's all we can do.
Are we in the World Series yet, or what? Because we don't have we actually have Scherzer. We have everybody, bro. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
it's a pitching night.
You're talking about what's it called? MLB The Show, right? You're playing MLB The Show.
Bro, we're talking about Joe Montana, which is like Mahomes, bro, right now. Fucking best fucking defenses in the whole entire world, bro, right now. 0-0, 4 down, fucking field goal, fuck it. 3-0. That is what we're talking about right here.
I mean, you ain't lying. I mean, this team cannot score. I've never seen a baseball team this shitty at hitting. I've never seen it like that.
You know what? I'm wrong. I'm wrong, actually. Bo Jackson just got drafted to the Chiefs. And you know what? Bo Jackson scored 1 touchdown, and that's it. It was 6-0 because they couldn't kick it.
Or it was like Family Guy when Peter was playing with Bo Jackson on Tecmo Bowl, and he just ran out the entire half by scoring with Bo Jackson, or ran out the whole quarter and scored a touchdown. He like ran backwards all the way around. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but that's like one of the funniest shits ever because he was like amazing in that video game.
Yeah, because Tom Brady fucking drafted him. That's why.
There you go. I mean, there's certain teams that have just all the luck, and we got none.
Wait, so you said 1.5 points? Man, we got 1. It wasn't 1.5. It was 1.
It was 1, yeah. Dude, we went a whole month with the best ERA and only averaging 1.5 runs a game.
It could have been 1.25 because we actually got one person on first base, and that was it. Mm-hmm. No one got past second base because you know why? Because people choke, man. People choke like let's see who chokes. What's that guy from the Dodgers? Kershaw. There you go.
Oh yeah. I mean this hitting squad is something else, man. And I had a friend of mine. He was simulating a season, or actually playing the events. And he was sending me videos, and he's like, dude, I beefed up Velasquez's stats, and I still can't hit with him. And he was striking out on there. I'm like, damn, fucker sucks.
Do we should actually simulate a season like in the show, the PlayStation game, whatever?
Mm-hmm.
We and see how far we go. Actually, like with like everyone starting. Let's see. I'm pretty sure we go 82 and 82, maybe 80 and 80.
That would be some good homework for someone who has the actual roster before the trades to simulate the season and see where the Angels fall. I would like to see that too. I would like to see if they get over 500 or they're under. I don't know.
Probably 550. I would guesstimate 550.
Okay. I would actually do better. I think that on a video game with everyone healthy, I think they make the playoffs.
You think so? First round, lose it or win it?
I think they go to the ALCS because I've noticed over the years, MLB show overrates the Angels. They're really good on the video game, but they don't play like that in real life.
But who would they lose to the ALC?
I would have to say the Yankees. If he
The
simulated
Yankees?
I would say they'd lose to the Yankees, yeah.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Simulate it
Well,
out, man.
for me,
I guarantee you.
I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to guesstimate that because what about the Astros, man? You could end up with the Astros too from the wild card. You end up in the wild card. The Yankees are probably going to go against someone else, and the Astros probably go against us because that's in the same bracket, isn't it?
It depends. We wouldn't meet right away. But I would say in the video game they get knocked out. But in real life, it might be Yankees Astros in the ALCS. I mean, it could be. It's going to be hard to predict this year because you've got a lot of teams getting hot. I don't think the Orioles are going to go anywhere, but I think they're going to actually make the last wild card. National League's filled with really good teams. It's going to be a fun